Ho ho ho, and welcome back to the Old Warlock.
Now, that was very festive.
I'm Alex.
I'm Jim.
And welcome to the Old Warlock Christmas Special.
Christmas Special 2021.
2021. You would have had one last year, but we forgot that we filmed it completely, so it never got released.
We may still release it just because.
You might get a two-parter. Yeah. This might be part one. Who knows?
Who knows?
But really what we wanted to do today is just talk to you guys a little bit, have a little conversation with our viewers and our followers. And thank you guys.
And not to say that that's not what's the most important part about this video.
Yeah, don't you worry.
We're also going to give you some suggestions for that gamer in your life that you can't think of anything to buy for.
We got a little list right here.
Yeah.
Things that you can go and get your local D&D player, whoever they may be.
Yes.
So, first of all,
I prefer to think of it as their D&D loved one.
Exactly. There you go. Exactly.
Maybe.
Really, but first of all, we would just like to say that this time last year, we had only 50 subscribers, and we released what we called the 50th subscriber celebration, which in my opinion, all of our opinion really, is the greatest video we have ever created on this channel.
Because we actually thought we had hit the high water mark.
We were really proud of ourselves.
We thought, wow, 50 subscribers watching two idiots do what we do. But since then, we have actually gotten to...
We're almost to 1,000. We're at 850 as of November 26th, 2021.
So, obviously, unless we have a robot that's gone haywire out there, people seem to actually be... They're actually enjoying what we're doing.
Not just people, you guys.
Actually, you guys. That's a good point. And in all seriousness, it's actually pretty cool.
It's pretty neat.
That we've got 850 people who appear to like what we're doing. Thank you for following us, and
we appreciate it.
Giving us the incentive to keep doing this kind of silliness that we do sometimes.
We have a lot of fun. So thank you for a great 2021.
Well, and some of the things that have happened.
We've had all kinds of things.
We've had 850 subscribers. Yeah, that's a big thing. But we have had people.
We've had people commenting, mentioning us on other YouTube channels, which has been great. To anyone who's ever said our names anywhere, thank you guys so much.
Yep.
We have received some free things from a couple of you guys who want us to review some of your things that you're interested in, or things that you've created.
Some really neat stuff.
Yeah, so keep your eye out for some of that stuff, some reviews of fan stuff that we've gotten. What else?
Well, one of the cool things to me is that we're finding that there are people all over the world that are interested in the subject matter that we're talking about. It's not our subject matter. We're just covering the subject matter that everybody's interested in. Everybody seems to be interested. We've got people from Sweden, Belgium, Italy,
Spain.
We've had Spain, Portugal. We've had a lot of people from South America.
We've had some, I think, at Germany.
Some folks from Germany, just from all over the place, not just in North America, which again to us is really cool in that we're finding out that the interests that we have are shared by a lot of people all over the world, and to us, just as guys, geek guys, it's kind of cool to see that there are other geek folks out there in the world that think the same way we do on some of these subjects.
People who are just like us.
Yep.
So, really, thank you guys.
Thank you very much.
We appreciate all of you.
It has been a lot of fun.
And we're not done yet. Here's to hopefully 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. We'll see.
That's right. And then through 2022, we're going to see what happens then. We've got some great ideas. We're not going to let the cat out of the bag at this point. One of them could end up backfiring in a big way.
Pretty bad.
But we're going to try it anyway.
We'll see what happens. We've got a couple fun things that we've got in mind for the next year. So,
and we know that we have been a little lax here in the past couple of months. That's been due to circumstances beyond our control. We want to get back on track as best we can. So bear with us and keep supporting us in whatever way you can. Speaking of support, I wanted to make a shout out to Jeff the Jarhead. I've been meaning to mention him in some of our videos. Jeff gave us some support that was really special, and so thanks, Jeff.
Jeff, you're the best.
And then just there are the rest of the folks that have been supporting us. There are too many folks to mention, really, to be honest with you.
So thank you to all you guys. You're all the best. And if you're new here, hi! Do you like our set?
New set.
We got a new set, and we put up Christmas lights for the special. We went and found some.
But we might leave these up year round because they're kind of cool.
Because they're festive. Yeah. So yeah. Well, that being said, should we give some Christmas ideas?
Let's give some Christmas ideas, and these are serious Christmas ideas. Not necessarily for older gamers like myself, but for some of the younger gamers as well. Mm-hmm. But let's take a look.
Let's do it.
At some of the things we have. First on the list is...
This is a good one.
For you old schoolers out there, I would recommend this book, Dungeons of Dread. It's available through Drive-Thru RPG for how much was it? It's only like $16 for all of this D&D goodness that you're going to find here.
You can get a PDF for as low as $7, I think, as well.
But I would spring the 16 and have the book. Yeah. And I think that you can, for maybe a couple dollars more, you can
20
to get both the book and the PDF, so that you can put it on your iPad and you can actually do most of your DMing electronically.
It's really quite a deal.
This particular one, the reason I love it is because it speaks back to the time that I first started playing D&D. It is full of 4 different expedition modules, if you will, that were written primarily by Gary Gygax. It contains module S1, the Tomb of Horrors, which is quite the challenge.
I have not been permitted to read it, as he eventually wants me and some other people to go through it, but I'm sure it's lovely.
And it's an adventure for characters that are 10th to 14th level, and it was something that came out and was originally used at one of the cons. First came out in 1978, and it's great in that you get a feel for a high-level, old-school D&D adventure, and it comes with... At the time, it came with all kinds of interesting illustrations that you're supposed to show the players as you have them go through the dungeon. But it's extremely deadly, and chances are your players are not going to survive it unless they get a hold of this ahead of time and look through it.
I would never. But
I know you wouldn't.
It's a great idea for a little bit of a throwback, but then also if you're a younger person and you want a little bit of inspiration or something that you can have people go through, this is a great idea. You've got 4 different...
Tomb of Horrors is the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Then you also have White Plume Mountain. You have Expedition to the Barrier Peaks, which I think everybody who played back in my early days played. And then you have the Lost Caverns of the name that I can never pronounce, Tsojcanth. I have always said it's called Zojcanth, but it could be Jocanth. It could be a lot of different things. But anyway, 4 early modules that you can run your players through, or you can read just for the sake of its history or its relation to D&D history. $16 for this off of Drive-Thru RPG. It's a print on demand. You might want to get after it as quick as you can. I doubt if they have it just in stock. It has to be printed and mailed to you. So if you do want to give this to somebody, you might want to get on it as quick as you can. We're here end of November. 3 weeks, 4 weeks to Christmas. You probably should get on it as soon as you can.
Yeah. Next, we have something that we have talked about before, actually, in another video. They're called the Table Fables, books written by someone named Madeline Hale. These are fantastic supplements. We are really huge fans of any supplements that are just created by fans. Anything that's not necessarily associated with official Dungeons & Dragons or Wizards of the Coast in any capacity, but just people who love role-playing games and have created things that they like to integrate. If you want to go watch our video where we talked about these, you absolutely should. We will leave the link down in the description. But these are fantastic books full of really any random information that you could ever possibly need. Disease names, country sizes, war information. Really anything you'd ever want can be found in here.
But it also has a listing of magical items that Madeline Hale came up with. Mm-hmm. So, and they're not edition specific, so you can drop them into your 3rd edition, you can drop them into your 5th edition, you can drop them into your AD&D or your 0 edition. Yeah. There's a lot of really interesting stuff in here that you can pick up to add some flavor and spice to your campaign. But again, look at it, like Alexander was saying, look at our video on the creations of Madeline Hale, and you'll get more information about it.
These are going for very cheap for as good as they are. These 2 smaller ones, the actual Table Fables 1 and 2, these are both $11. And then you have the...
$11 each.
$11 a piece, yeah. And then you have the Arcane Artifacts and Curious Curios, right? This is going for $16, but you get a whole lot of information out of it.
A lot in here.
These are definitely worth the price that they're going for, so we absolutely recommend these.
And these are available on Amazon.
Yeah,
In fact, if you watch our video on these 3, there's a link at the end of the video that will take you to them take you to the Amazon location through that link at the end of our videos, and we will actually get like a nickel if you go and buy them through that link. So
that's not why we're saying to do it.
No, not at all.
But just, yeah, the link's there if you're interested. And to the person who pointed out it was broken, thank you. We fixed it.
and the only reason we mention it, like Alexander was saying, you know, we're mentioning these because we think they're really cool. And the reason we put the link in was not to make money. It was just to make it convenient for people to find.
Yeah. So strongly recommend.
Madeline Hale. 3 different books. Cheap. You should be able to get them by Christmas if you order fairly soon.
Yeah.
If they're still in stock, but really good books.
We're going to increase in price just a little bit now. Up next, we have something called the Barrow Maze.
Barrow Maze. Now this guy, this is actually something that was created for Labyrinth Lord, which is a fantastic D&D style role-playing system. I love Labyrinth Lord. It's a real old school feel to it, and Greg Gillespie is one of the primary movers and shakers behind Labyrinth Lord, of course, and he made this Barrow Maze module, which to me is one of the coolest mega dungeons ever created. This book is one adventure, okay? So if you are one of those folks out there who only gets to play occasionally, maybe you play once every 2 months or something like that, and you need to, as a DM, you need to keep your people in a confined space so that you can pick up easily where you left off, Barrow Maze is one of the adventures that I highly recommend. What it is you start off, he gives you some maps of a small region. The goal of Barrow Maze is for you to be basically a looter who goes into a burial ground complex that has an enormous area underneath it that dates to an earlier age. And once you find your way into that underground complex, this adventure can go on for months and months and months. But it's got a great story attached to it. It's not just random. There's a lot of thought that went into it. To me, it's fantastic. Anything that's really made by Greg Gillespie, I really, really like.
We have played a part of it, and as somebody who primarily is a player, it is really cool. You might kind of go into it with the expectation that's just, this guy just started drawing random maps, but it's very creative and very in depth, and it's really worth playing if that's something you're interested in.
And again, if all you have as a DM is occasionally you want to run players through a game as more of a social thing as opposed to a big adventure, develop it yourself, and you just want to have the experience of going through a dungeon, this is a good place to be. The issue is
there is an issue,
and I'm not saying that this is overpriced at all, because the amount of work that went into developing this was pretty substantial. But this runs $35 for the PDF of it.
Yeah.
The actual book itself, when I bought it, I want to say it might have been $90, and it is sold out everywhere at this point in time.
Yeah, we've been able to find copies of the Barrow Maze 2 that are up for sale. We don't have that. I've never.
And I now that I think about it, Barrow Maze 2 might be just a component of this.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I'm thinking that this is Barrow Maze Complete represents the consolidation of Barrow Maze 1 and 2. Yeah. So this is the one that you're really after for the complete content.
Yeah. So you can get the PDF download of it for $35 on
off of Drive-Thru
RPG. Yeah. But we have been having a little bit of trouble finding actual Our Lights Are Falling copies of the book. But if you do manage to find one anywhere, absolutely we recommend purchasing this. This would be a great gift that any, especially Dungeon Master, would love to have. Yep. It's a great bit of creativity.
It really is good.
So next, fourth, increasing in price even a little bit more for that extra special Dungeons & Dragons player in your life, we have a great bag.
Which is this bad Larry right here.
It's a nice bag.
Now, this is actually a bag that was created to haul your D&D stuff from one place to another. We often play at the house of another one of our players because he has more room, and hauling things around in a backpack or a carrying bag or whatever just loses its appeal after a certain amount of time.
It's true.
This, however, created by, hang on a second. I've lost the documentation of it.
Created by these people
here. You can see the image here.
Oh, look.
There it is. They made this specifically for hauling your D&D stuff around.
Yeah.
So, if you look, the zipper here will hold a large number of books on the inside.
Slotted in perfectly.
If you are one of those people who plays with minifigures, not something that we do very often.
That's true.
But if you are, there's the documentation. If you are, it comes with a holder for your minifigures here on the top. But you can, of course, toss this out and put your dice in there or your rolling boxes, whatever you want to do. It also comes with side pouches for putting paper, pencils, whatever you might want there. There's 2 of those. Okay. And it's got a front pocket here with a zippered compartment in here so that you can put your secret special stuff in.
Your extra special goodies.
And then down here on the front, some of us play with rolling mats. And what you can do with these components down here is you can
We'll get there. There you go.
You can roll those up and you can stick them through here so that you can carry those from place to place as well. And then, of course, the entire thing will zip up and it will buckle down here to keep everything safe. And it has this great logo patch right here. For some reason, I like that. I don't know why.
It really is quite the bag.
It's quite the bag. It is created by Enhance. It is the RPG travel case. And as Alexander had mentioned earlier, it is a bit expensive.
It is. The base price we found for this is $89, so it is a little bit more on the steep side. But, you know, again, like I said, for the extra special D&D player in your life, this is something that really anybody would appreciate. It's very cool.
And it comes with a stylish handle with a shoulder pad here so that it doesn't bite into your shoulders, because you know you're going to be hauling more stuff in here than it was meant to carry. So it comes with everything you might need, but it's also got a handy carrying handle here. I highly recommend it because eventually you're going to lose some of your stuff if you just keep hauling it around in that old beat up backpack with the holes in it.
That's true. And there are there not, a few other things that Enhance does make. We don't own any of them. We haven't really looked at a lot of them, but there is a whole line of stuff that they create. We are not sponsored by them in any way. Enhance, if you're listening.
Let us know.
But, yeah. We did take a look at their page, but we definitely recommend this bag at the very least. It's
and I think one of the reasons why I would recommend it is because, I mean, yeah, the price, $89, it's getting up there, but this is well made.
Yeah.
This I've taken real close looks at the seams and the zippers, things like that. It's not plastic garbage. It's actually got really good materials. It's pretty well made. Yeah. So yeah,
we definitely recommend.
I would recommend it. Yeah.
So in terms of, you know, just random things that you could find, that's all that we have.
Oh no, it's not.
Oh no, we have one more. We're sorry. Continuing.
For those of you who don't play role-playing games, but you're looking for something for that person, you're not quite sure what they do when they sequester themselves into a room with a bunch of weird-looking dice, but you still want to get them something that might be of use to them. My significant other last year got me this great leather-bound notebook. And it's really cool. On the front of it, it has, if you were able to look at it more closely, it has the gate to a castle with a portcullis on it, which it's embossed, which is really nice. I think that would mean embossed. It's stamped into it. It's got texture.
Yeah.
Okay. When you take this out, you can actually remove this and replace the paper on the inside. But the reason that this is important is because it's always a good idea as a player or a DM to have something to make notes in.
Absolutely.
A lot of people do that nowadays with their iPad. You know, you can write it out there, but I'm kind of old school and I like having this thing that I can open up and say, you know, 3.5 years ago when you guys were playing, you said this, this, and this. It's just something that every player and every DM is going to need. I think that this, you know, these nice leather-bound ones, you can get them on Amazon, you can get them on Etsy as well. I think that they're running somewhere around $15, $20. So I highly recommend something like this if you're not quite sure what to get that D&D player. This is something that's always going to go down well.
Or just any kind of notebook that's a little bit nicer, a little bit higher end, will always be well received. I guarantee it. It'll get used for something, and it'll be very much appreciated by whoever you get it for. It will be used. Yeah.
So, leather-bound notebook. Good choice.
Now, on that note,
Now we
actually
have
this time, we have nothing left to talk about except for our goods here at the Old
This is shameless
Warlock.
self-promotion.
It is, yes. We, on our Spreadshirt page, which you can find in the links in the description, and on our website, you can find all kinds of fun things that are filled with our logos and the designs created by our very talented videographer, Zachary. You can find cups, hoodies, pants, masks, hats, shirts, whatever you could possibly need, you can find on there. Yeah.
We'll be adding more to those. This is kind of a post-Christmas thing.
Yeah.
Zachary's working on a new series of comics that we will end up putting onto t-shirts and hoodies and cups and things, so you might want to keep an eye out for that in the new year.
Absolutely.
But right now, if you want that unique thing, an Old Warlock mug, probably the way to go.
Very affordable as well on the website, and surprisingly high quality. Not surprisingly, but it's high quality stuff for the price that you would be paying for it. So we definitely recommend.
And for those of you who have already purchased these types of items, thank you very much.
Thanks.
We're not making a lot of money off of it, but it does help us to get Christmas lights and things like that to make the show just a little bit more interesting.
So take a look on the website, follow the links in the description. If you're interested, we're not telling you to. No pressure.
If you don't,
but if you want to, it's there. And it's pretty high quality stuff.
And it's unique.
It is.
You know, you're not. If you go to your next game with an Old Warlock mug, there's probably not going to be anybody else there who has one. So
exactly. Very high end. So yeah, that's about all that we have to offer for this here Christmas special or holiday special, in case you're celebrating in some other way. Yeah, thank you for coming by.
Thank you for the past year. Thank you for subscribing in what we consider to be very large numbers. I know that YouTube does not consider it the same way, but we do.
We do, gosh darn it.
And we appreciate it.
Yes. So we will put the links in the description for all the stuff that we've mentioned here. Be sure to check out our website, Spreadshirt page, everything else. It's all down there. So yeah, happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Whatever you're celebrating, we hope you have a great time with it. And thanks for being with us for this past year.
We'll see you next time.
Keep your sword on free.
Bye-bye.